So I'm sitting here on my phone typing this, and she's across from me on the sofa on her computer planning a honeymoon trip for after a wedding that she has no idea is never going to happen. Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, gonna go over a story titled, Today I Broke Off My Engagement. And a big shout out to the dude that sent me this story. Forgot your name, but you know who you are. And guys, this story is about a guy. He is 25 years old. His girl's 24. They've been together for 3 years, all set to be married. And he ends up kicking her to the curb right before the wedding after he finds out that she was cheating. How many stories have I started off just like this? Kid you not. And you're going to see, guys, how it's very interesting the way he found out. It isn't the usual way where he discovered something on her phone or computer. It's a whole other way, which you'll see in a moment. And what I like about this is this guy handles this, even though he's heartbroken for multiple reasons, and you'll see, he handles this exactly the way he should. He doesn't beg and cry or act like a little bitch. He's done with her. End of freaking story. He's smart enough to realize that. And even though he's struggling, hurt inside. And also what's entertaining is that while she doesn't know that he knows these things, she's planning their wedding and honeymoon. Meanwhile, he's planning to get rid of her. And it's pretty entertaining the way he does this. And that'd be a great one to go over here for all you guys, or relationship guys, just to always pay attention to the red flags. Always put the phone, how she is with you. If the SEX suddenly stops, if she's suddenly staying at work a lot longer than she normally is, talking about another guy, I mean, just all sorts of red flags, got to pay attention to them. And if things go wrong, you know what? You can always get past them, move on, you got to be strong. So it starts off, he says here, last week, I, a 25-year-old male, found that my fiancée, a 24-year-old female, cheated with her boss. There's a cliche. I'm not sure of his age, but he is in his mid-40s. I know he's married and has 3 kids. What a freaking scumbag. This happened last November on a work trip while out of town. They had SEX 3 times. How do I know? Well, her boss's wife messaged me on Facebook and told me. Can you imagine that? He goes online, Facebook, to look at all the stupid bullshit on Facebook, sees a message pop up. Who the heck is this? Clicks on it, and lo and behold, it's somebody telling you that your girl's cheating on you and providing proof. Make your heart rip out. She provided me with screenshots of texts and emails between them. Graphic discussion about how they cheated on us. Also, how they got it over on us and they joke about it. What a couple of assholes. They're perfect for each other. But then she'll tell him in the same text that she loves me so she can never come out. The boss's wife, who seems very sweet, I've met her at a company function before, is understandably enraged and heartbroken, and is having him serve with divorce papers tomorrow. She's also going to drop a friendly email to their HR department. Oh, he's screwed. So I'm sitting here on my phone typing this, and she's across from me on the sofa on the computer planning a honeymoon trip for a wedding that she has no idea is never going to happen. How about that? He is keeping his cool, keeping his poker face, writing this story right here while she thinks everything's cool. I just can't imagine. I couldn't keep that inside. I'm being honest here. It'd be over right then and there. She's completely oblivious to the fact that her life is going to fall apart tomorrow. I don't feel any sympathy for her at all, since mine fell apart last week, and every time I read those texts and emails, I feel like someone is sticking a knife in my heart. Because she's a selfish a-hole. She doesn't give a shit. 3 years down the drain. I'm just thankful I found it before we got married. I guess that's something to be thankful for. She has no idea, but I took a vacation day tomorrow. After she leaves for work, I'm going to go around our place and collect all of her stuff. Box it up and have it sitting by the front door. Then I have to figure out if I can get any of my money back that I've already laid out for the wedding. What's interesting in a lot of these stories, guys, these guys talk about how they're about to get married and how they put this money into the wedding. Unless something's changed, wasn't tradition where the bride's family pays for the wedding, or certainly a vast majority of it, and the groom's family often will pay like the rehearsal dinner, maybe sometimes the honeymoon. Have things changed? It's just a common thing here. It was supposed to happen in October, but yeah, that's not happening. And when she comes home, I'm going to throw her out of my apartment and out of my life. please videotape that and send it to me. I debated posting all these screenshots on her Facebook page, but my sister talked me out of it. The situation was reversed. She'd do that to you. I also debated calling her parents. I feel bad for them as they are such great people and I'm going to miss her family. They've accepted me as one of their own and I don't know what they're going to say. But I've decided that she can explain herself to them. I don't want to hear her excuses or her lies. At this point, I just want her out of my life so I can figure out what the hell I'm going to do for the rest of my life. Well, not that you're going to have a relationship with her family after this, because that's just not going to work out. The likelihood is they're not going to get the full truth. They're going to get as much as she has to tell them, not the full thing. As an update, he says here, I posted in more detailed updates in the comments here before, and here are a few points. Sorry, I'm getting really bombed with phone calls and texts right now from my family and friends. Her parents are aware. I spoke with her mother. I'm assuming the wife did contact HR because my ex told me that she needs to meet with them today when we speak on the phone. Somebody's losing their job. Both my sister and her mother said they'd come to my place today whenever my ex gets home. I'm definitely asking for my ring back. Thank you for all the kind, supportive messages that I've received. Even the girl who sent me pictures of herself in lingerie. Very nice gesture, but that's the last thing on my mind right now. Only on Reddit would a guy post a story about something like this, and some girl would send him pictures of her in lingerie because she feels bad or likes him or whatever. If that's actually a girl, that could be some 500-pound dude in his mama's basement in Alabama sending that picture. You just never know. But anyhow, you got some entertainment. If I haven't answered it, it's because I'm dealing with a lot right now. Update number 2. Now we're getting into the good stuff. He says, well, she's gone. She did show up with her mom and her best friend in tow. My sister was there. No screaming, no yelling. She asked if we could just speak alone, and I told her it wouldn't be a very good idea. That's a kiss my ass. I said everything she needed to say, she said in her text messages with her boyfriend. Of course, the tears started, and her mom said that they'd make this as quick as possible. Of course, she's starting with the waterworks. Let me explain. You didn't understand. So her and her friend went and got some of her stuff, enough for a day or two. While she was gone, her mom apologized to me and said she didn't raise her daughter this way. And she asked if the guy was really married, and I said, yeah, he's married. Her mom seemed pretty shattered by this whole thing. That's very nice that the mom's apologizing because he said he has a good relationship with her family, like they're like a second family. But there's going to be a whole lot of parents nowadays, they're going to be saying to different guys, saying those the same things. I didn't raise my daughter to be this way, who's on OnlyFans, who's showing all her stuff on social media, who's hooked up with 300 guys in college, who did videos, who did this, who did that. But then again, you did raise them to be that way. You just didn't realize it. So, as they got ready to leave, I asked, what about my ring, since it doesn't seem to mean that much to you at all? Her friend opened her mouth like she was going to say something, and I shot her a look, and she immediately shut her mouth. I wouldn't take any bets in Vegas that her friend didn't know what she was doing this whole time. She covered her hand like she wasn't going to give me the ring, and her mom said, give him the goddamn ring. Yeah, good job for the mom. So she handed her mom the ring, and her mom gave it to me and again told me how sorry she is. Even he decided to throw that ring in the river. She's not getting that ring. I dropped it on my coffee table. I didn't even want to look at it. I didn't want to look at it at all. I guess she's going to come back for the rest of her stuff tomorrow with her dad. Leave it out in the hallway. My sister said that she'd like to pull the little something hair out of her head. He had to cover that up because he got in trouble posting this the first time. Her words, not mine. But right now, I'm so beaten down by all this, I just want to lay down and sleep. So that is the end of his story as of now. And like I said, what I like about this is even though he's really hurting, and you can tell, still, he kept his poker face. It's over. I'm not going to try to salvage this thing because there are guys out there that have such a low opinion of themselves, they would still keep a cheater. And it's just the worst thing you could possibly do. And I'm willing to bet you, now, nobody's perfect. I'm sure this guy made genuine mistakes over time, as everybody does, but nobody deserves this. And if she was that unhappy, then she should have ended the relationship. But it was easier to go cheat. And what do you want to bet? I guarantee you, when she's in HR, she throws the boss under the bus. I felt pressured. I felt this. Well, even though there were text exchanges improving that it was consensual. and they were making fun of, that he was making fun of his wife and she's making fun of him, that they were able to hide this and they didn't know. I guarantee you still, she'll probably twist it around, blame it on the boss. Like he's the big, and don't get me wrong, he's an asshole and he deserves to be terminated, and have his wife take him to the cleaners. I mean, he was married in his 40s with 3 kids, for God's sakes. But guarantee there'll be some waterworks and drama. But anyhow, I'm really glad this guy handled it like a man. And he's 25. He's got his whole life ahead of him. In fact, his prime really is going to begin for a few more years when he gets to his 30s. A lot of these guys throw in the towel and get married so young when their real prime begins later in life. A woman's prime ends when they reach 30. Doesn't mean you can't have good-looking women in their 30s, 40s, and sometimes 50s, but for their age. But their main prime, late teens through the end of the 20s, that ends. That's when they settle. Notice that, guys. And the guys are just so desperate to get a good-looking girl to pay attention to them. They rope her in and marry her as fast as they can when their prime begins in their 30s. So I would recommend he just takes it day by day, has no contact with her or her family, even though he liked them a lot. Hang out with his bros and his family, people that he can trust, that care about him. Hit the gym, because when you work out, you always feel better, guaranteed. Don't bury yourself in alcohol and junk food or drugs. And put his energy in his purpose, his goals, his job, whatever he's doing, whatever ambitions he has. And I guarantee he'll feel a lot better. And I won't be rushing any relationship anytime soon. And down the road, as he gets older and more established, making more money, doing well, because I hope he does this, his prime really will be kicking in. And he'll have girls throwing themselves at him left and right. And he can then be picky and choose who he wants, if that's what he wants to do. He just has to be careful. And as for her, I guarantee you, guaranteed, she'll be reaching out to him down the road hoping to get a second chance. He has to block her on all accounts. And she'll then realize one day she passed up a good guy. But anyhow, guys, some comments here real quick before I wrap this up. One guy says here, one of my friends had a girl he was engaged to suddenly break things off one day. He did some reaching out to her friends, and it turned out she'd been engaged and broken off 7 times before to different people. He said she was like Gollum just after the ring. This guy's gal was engaged 7 different times. She probably just wanted to collect the rings. She's probably like, like Thanos had all his stones on his big hand thing, that big glove. She collects the wedding rings. It's like her source of power. Next one. My ex-fiancée made a video with someone 7 months pregnant. I gave her another shot right before he was born, and it was the worst decision of my life. Please stay as far as you can from her. You have way too many feelings going through your head over the next couple weeks, months, maybe even years. Stay confident in your decision on splitting from her. Do not by any means become friends, and cease all communication from her, her friends, and family as soon as it's all over with. I agree. Move on, live happy. Find someone who you deserve and deserves you just as much as they deserve you. Now the guy says here, props to the wife for letting you know. She must be just as effing devastated, especially with kids in the picture. I respect her a lot for not just thinking about how it affected her and letting you know so you didn't have to find out once you were married. Yeah, can you imagine if he found this out when he was married? Another guy says here, he goes, fuck, man, that's tough. Hope you had a good group of friends. If you have any boys close by, call them and talk to them. Shoot the shit. Doesn't need to be about anything in particular. Just have someone with you. Go out and do an activity. Literally anything would work. You're going to want to express all that, and no better way to do it with the boys. Godspeed, man. The worst has passed. Can only get better from here. I wouldn't say it's going to get better. I'm going to say it's going to be a roller coaster of emotions, but it will, in time, get better. And I agree. Get out with your bros, your buddies, the family you can trust. Have a good time. Just be careful not to drink your blues away. A lot of supportive people here on Reddit for this guy. I really like that. And one more before I wrap this up. This guy says, I was in a similar situation once with a fiancé. I did find out she just left one day. Didn't give me any reason. Just took the coward's way out and disappeared. It wasn't until 1 year later, after coming out of a deep depression, that I was in the right place to start piece things together. She'd been sleeping with her coworker, which was confirmed through other sources. It was hard to stop blaming myself and trying to see what I had done wrong at the time because I didn't know. I remember feeling so raw and hurt. What made it complicated was that we owned a house together, so I had to deal with her parents to sort out the effing mess. They were so embarrassed and sorry. At least this guy doesn't own property with this girl. I totally get the importance of getting the ring back. I did the same. It's not just monetary worth or something. It symbolizes a moment and you were utterly vulnerable to that person, who then went on to betray your trust. Why should they keep it? I agree. A lot of women think it's a gift and they get to keep it. Bullshit. That is a ring is on the condition that you marry my ass. It's not a gift. A gift is a random ring on Valentine's Day where a guy isn't foolish enough to get down on one knee about. My advice would be to try to forget about what's happened. You won't learn to accept and live with it. First things first, get stuck into some hobbies you really enjoy, reconnect with friends, take some time just to be you again. Best of luck, mate. It's a shitty deal, so sorry for you. There you go. I'm loving it. Great support for this guy. When these people post these stories, I'm sure you guys have noticed this, you either have people that are totally in support of the guy, or half-ass support of the guy, or no support of the guy. It's unbelievable. You could have guys have awful things happen to them, and still you're going to have these wackos on there that will find a way to make him out to be the villain. I kid you not. But not here, not today. All right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And guys, you come across a good story, by all means, email it to me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. Just get some time to get to it. I definitely want to get the chance. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.